I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Mrs. Nelson.
Thank you, Mr. Cannon. Mr. Reynolds will not be here tonight. Mr. Gillingham.
Here.
Mr. Burrow.
Here.
Mr. Cannon.
Here.
Mrs. West, in addition, will not be here tonight. Mr. Sowerby. Here. Mrs. Meltzer here.
Thank you. Are there any additions or deletions to tonight's agenda?
Yes, there are 2 add-ons and 1 deletion. Add-on item number 16, purchase of emergency water main repair sleeve. And number 17, court order bid award cleanup of a 19,901 River Hill. And we're deleting item number 6, request approval for 20 by 60 for any of this.
So moved. Is there a second? Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Crowe.
Yes.
Mr. Sowerby.
Yes.
Mr. Gillingham.
Yes.
Mr. Cannon.
Yes.
Mrs. Meltzer, yes. Motion.
Thank you. So welcome to your township board meeting this evening. If you have any item as it comes before the board you'd like to speak on, please come to the podium and clearly give us your name and address for the record. If there's something that you'd like to speak to that is not on the agenda this evening, we have public comment cards in the front of the room to your left. Simply fill one of those out, and at the end of the meeting, we'll hear what you have to say. Additionally, we have a public service announcement from Mrs. Meltzer before we begin.
Thank you, Mr. Cannon. Yes, I'm excited to announce our clerk's office is coordinating with the Macomb Food Program and offering a box for residents and anybody that has visitors that happen to come in to drop off non-perishable items in a box that'll be clearly displayed in the lobby in the hallway. So I'm excited about being a part of that. As a former state rep, I used to do that with I used to be on the anti-hunger caucus, which was a great opportunity to help, first of all, recognize how apparent and horrible it is that there are people that go without food, and we are such in a great state of plenty, and with that, we've had many examples of people, even in bad economic times, in the times where downturn in the economy, that had given, and so we're going to resurrect an opportunity here, and so we're excited to do that. So for all of you that are here and all of you that are listening, if you would, next time you come to the township for any other purpose, or for that purpose alone, bring a can of non-perishable item, and feel free to drop it in the box that for the Macomb Food Program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With us this evening is a person that many of you may not remember, but he was supervisor here in Clinton Township in 1959 when we used Moravian Hall, which is now our historic village. And he ended up being a judge, a great judge here in Macomb County. So Judge Sanborn, thank you for joining us this evening. It's very nice to have you here.
I may leave a little early because my wife is not well. I don't like to leave her, but I think this is the first time I've been to a township board meeting in over 50 years. But I love Clinton Township.
And you like that old clapboard building outside?
Yeah, right. We moved to Clinton Township in 1950, December 50. Lived over in the Eagleside Farm subdivision on Highview, 21550 Highview. And it's a pleasure to be honored. Honored as being the oldest member and so on. But I'm still walking.
You are? You're doing very well. I know that.
5-6 years ago. Thanks for the invite, Kim.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here.
It's nice to have you, Judge. We're honored. Okay, and with that, we'll take item number 1, resolution declaring November as Diabetes Awareness Month.
Dear Mr. Cannon, hello, my name is Robert Perkins. I am 11 years old, a resident of Clinton Township, a student at Lance Cruz Middle School, and a member of St. Thecla Parish. I have type 1 diabetes, an autoimmune disease that affects my pancreas's ability to produce life-sustaining insulin. In the weeks before my diagnosis, my parents noticed symptoms of diabetes, rapid weight loss, increased thirst, and many trips to the bathroom over a few short hours. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes on November 30th, 2013, Thanksgiving weekend, and spent 3 days in Beaumont's Children's Hospital in Royal Oak, Michigan, learning to manage my newly diagnosed disease. My life has drastically changed since my diagnosis. I can't leave the house without my kit. I keep my glucose meter, insulin, and glucogen with me at all times. I try my best to manage my disease. It is very hard to live with type 1. I have to carry foods and beverages to bring my blood sugar up if I go low. I have to test my blood glucose before school tests, before physical activities, and before meals. I can't just go somewhere and do something. I have to think how my diabetes will affect what I'm doing. My dream is that I could just get rid of diabetes altogether. I dream of a cure for me and everyone with this disease. No more glucose blood tests, no more insulin, no more needle injections or pumps, no more having to plan my day around diabetes. November is Diabetes Awareness Month, a month where we work our hardest to spread awareness and education about the impact that type 1 diabetes has on the lives of people just like me. So I'm writing to you today to ask that you review the included proclamation and prepare a resolution to be brought before the Township Board for their review, approval, and adoption on behalf of JDRF and the entire diabetic community within Clinton Township. If you would like, I can meet with the entire Board of Trustees and explain to all of you what I and my family deal with from day to day and answer any questions you may have. This year on September 27th, my family, friends, and I will participate in our second JDRF One Walk and have been raising funds for research for a cure. You're all welcome to join us and see just how amazing the diabetic community is. I want to help create a world without type 1 diabetes. A major part of that is educating the public about this currently incurable disease. Please help me, won't you? Together we can turn type 1 into type 9. Thank you sincerely, Robert Perkins. Thank you, lives in Clinton Township.
Very nice letter, Robert. Mrs. Meltzer, are you going to do the proclamation?
I will do that. Or do you want me to do that now, or do you want to have them speak? Or?
Well, Robert, did you have anything you want to add? Then we'll do your proclamation for the entire community.
I don't know.
This is obviously not your forum right here. Your forum is out on the street raising money to help with the cure. There's no question about that. And you've done a real fine job of that. And I know your parents are very proud of you. You brought it to our attention, to the entire board's attention, and we'll bring it to the entire community's attention. And Mrs. Meltzer will now read the proclamation that we have. If you think of anything you want to chime in with, just go right ahead.
Okay. At the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees for the Charter Township of Clinton, held in the Board Chambers at 40700 Romeo Plank Road, Clinton Township, Michigan, on the 5th day of October 2015, commencing at 6:30 p.m., whereas diabetes affects 29.1 million people, 9.3% of the population in the United States, and is a serious disease for which there is no known cure, and which is the 7th leading cause of death by disease in the United States. And whereas approximately 1/4 of the Americans who have diabetes, 8.1 million, 27.8% of people do not know they have the disease and may experience damage to the heart, eyes, kidneys, and limbs without producing any symptoms. And whereas another 86 million, or 1 in 3 American adults, has prediabetes, a condition which puts them at greater risk for developing type 2 diabetes, and if current trends continue, 1 in 3 American adults will have diabetes by 2050. And whereas type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease in which a person's pancreas stops producing insulin, a hormone that enables people to get energy from food. It occurs when the body's immune system attacks and destroys the insulin-producing cells in the pancreas called beta cells. While its causes are not yet entirely understood, scientists believe that both genetic factors and environmental triggers are involved. Its onset has nothing to do with diet or lifestyle. There is no prevention for T1D, or type 1 diabetes, at present, no cure, and whereas T1D strikes both children and adults at any age. It comes on suddenly, causing dependence on injected or pumped insulin for life, and carries the constant threat of devastating complications. And whereas 1.25 million Americans are living with T1D, including about 200,000 youth, less than 20 years old, and over 1 million adults 20 years old and older, 40,000 people are diagnosed each year in the U.S. 5 million people in the U.S. are expected to have T1D by 2050, including nearly 600,000 youth. Between 2001 and 2009, there was a 21% increase in the prevalence of T1D in people under age 20. $14 billion T1D associated annual healthcare costs in the U.S., and whereas diabetes has many faces affecting everyone, young and old alike, Caucasians, African Americans, Latinos, Native Americans, Asian Americans, and Pacific Islanders, with minority populations in the United States having an increased risk for developing the disease, and whereas an increase in the community awareness of risk factors and symptoms related to diabetes can improve the likelihood that people with diabetes will get the attention they need before suffering the devastating complications of this disease. Now, therefore, Okay, now therefore, let it be resolved, the Board of Trustees that the Charter Township of Clinton acknowledges November 2015 as Diabetes Awareness Month in the Charter Township of Clinton in the state of Michigan, and encourages all citizens to help fight this disease and its deadly complications, including heart and kidney disease, stroke, blindness, and amputation, by increasing awareness of the risk factors for diabetes and by providing support to those suffering from diabetes.
I thought I knew a lot about the disease, but there's a lot in here that I did not know, so thank you for bringing that forward. Additionally, for our residents, this will be on our webpage, so if there's something you'd like to go back and review, if there's something that you might have missed, by all means, go back and take a look at it.
Also, Mr. Kenneth, can I add that Robert is so brave. He's going to sit down with me and his mom and maybe a couple other people, and we're going to do a cable show on it to try and educate the public about type 1 diabetes.
Very good.
Move to approve.
Support. Robert, last chance to speak tonight.
Are there any questions?
Well, how much money have you raised so far?
This year we raised, I think it was 1,400. Yeah, we raised $1,400 this
Very
year.
good. So you're not sitting around just thinking that you're going to go out and fight it. That's good. Good for you.
Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
Sorry. Mr. Gilliam?
Just real quick, Robert, just a couple of thoughts. The thing that really struck me is you have to remember all of this stuff that you have to carry with you all the time. That is, quite a big thing to ask of a young man your age, but especially given the fact that I'm an adult and I can't leave the house without having to go back at least once to pick up my keys or my glasses or something like that. So that thought did occur to me, and the other thought is standing at that podium right there where you're at is probably intimidating for 90% of adults, and you stood there bravely bringing this issue forward. And so for that, you deserve our praise, and we give you a lot of credit for doing that.
Mr. Pearl?
Yes.
Mr. Gilligan?
Yes.
Mr. Cannon?
Yes.
Mr. Sowerby?
Yes.
Mrs. Melton, yes, motion passes.
Thank you. Robert. Item 2, resolution supporting the Coalition's Red Ribbon Substance Abuse Campaign in October. Chippewa Valley